Enough is enough! I have had it!
Why so serious?
And we hold the world ransom for
Wayne Gandy.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Show me the money.
Broadcasting live from the Armada FM studios in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
You may fill me up, yeah. Can you fill me up, yeah? You won't break me down. I've come too far, yeah. I've come too far, yeah. So just throw in the towel. It's a new day, I'ma do it. Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way. You may build me up.
Welcome. I'm the Sports Joc, Wayne McGandy. Yes, I'm Irish today. I did look and I found out that my slave owner was an Irish man from Ireland named McGandy. When he impregnated the slave, who probably was my great-great-great-great-grandmother, he dropped the Mick and just called her Gandy. Yeah, that's not going to get it today. Good morning. No, I'm making that up, man. I didn't go to Ellis Island or New Orleans. I didn't go to the slave trade. Where were we brought in from anyway, Massengill? I know you're a historian. No? You don't know that either? South Carolina? Which port? Nobody. Yes, we're going to talk race today. Yes, we are. Sigma, Alpha, Epsilon, they brought it back. We can't seem to get away from that in sports. Out on the OU campus, we have a great show for you. Welcome, 9 a.m. Monday morning here live in Atlanta. We are missing the cream in between the two Oreo cookies. Selfie is not in today. Just me and Big Kenny are going to ride this pony until it drops. Okay, what does that mean? She's on a plane? Okay. Did you call her and she said that? She called you and texted me back. Okay, that sounds like an irresponsible person that would miss work. Because usually when people call you, that means they want to talk. They don't want to get a response back in a text. But we'll keep trying and see what she's probably laying up right now. And airport is the position. Y'all will get it. It'll come to you. It'll come to you. It'll come to you. Someday it'll come to you. But welcome. How was your week? We are here. We are live. St. Patty's Day is tomorrow. But in the American fashion, it started Friday. And that's the American way. What do you mean? If it don't fall on the weekend, we're going to add the weekend to it. It can't get away. I have been seeing green. I got my luck of the Ibis. I don't know how to do the voices. We'll get Big Kenny on. I'm quite sure he's good at the Keebler voice. Pinch me not, Yoda. See my shirt right there? But I will be in the spirit as for the next 48 hours. McGandy will be, not to be confused with McGandhi. But McGandy will be my name until Wednesday morning. I'll go back to the just so plain, the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. But we are here. I got my three producers in the building. As I said, Selfie is gone. Have you filled out your brackets? Have you done that? Are you waiting on Bill Gates or one of those super uber rich men to put some money on it? Because last year this time, everybody was looking for some brackets to fill out when Mr. Buffett put $1 billion. Got to have a lot of money when you could just put $1 billion on something. And that's something, I mean, I wonder what happens when he walks in the casino. I wonder if they really allow him to gamble. You think that? $1 million bets are hard to cover, man. I mean, when a guy can just keep going, because you figure at some point he's going to hit. And that's a lot of return on your investment. 10-1 odds on a $1 million bet is a lot of money. You can come up real quick, especially for a man who, when he sleeps, he makes a meal. Yeah, that's the kind of money he has, Warren Buffett. But the brackets are here. March Madness 2015. Did your team make it? Are you sitting somewhere with your thumb in your mouth upset that they did not? That is always so cute, how the teams, we didn't get in. Yeah, well, win your conference. That's the easiest way in. I mean, the conference winners go to the tourney. So if you don't want to win your conference, it don't matter what your record is. If you win your tournament, you go to the big dance. So there you go. Kansas losing to Iowa State. Go Iowa State. I got to give you some love. I watched you 2 or 3 games. They came back 5 games in a row to win their conference. Kentucky dominating my Auburn Tigers, then going on to do the same thing to Arkansas. Big ups to them. Big ups to Notre Dame. We're going to talk a little college basketball a little later in the show. Notre Dame beating Duke in North Carolina in consecutive nights to make it. That we'd have to do a little research, see if anybody's ever done that to win the ACC title. I'm quite sure all the fans were hoping for an Duke, North Carolina game final for the ACC. Out in the MEAC, as Big Kenny brought to me this morning, Savannah State winning in the woman's side. So they did do some winning at some point. Georgia State winning as well. But we'll talk about this and much more. We got Marshawn Lynch in the second hour. And is your favorite player still on your NFL team? Maybe not. Everybody's shuffling the cards right now. I don't know an offseason I've seen so many switching and trades of different players. But that Buffalo Bills team up there with Rex, he got him some explosive players. Percy Harvin, LaShawn McCoy. All they got to do is find somebody to get the ball in their hands. They could do some big things. We're going to talk about Manny. Got his aunt singing and a lot of other things coming up in the show. So sit back, relax, get ready for a good show today. We're going to start right here with a story that seemed to kind of go under the radar. I didn't see much about it. Mississippi State's quarterback, Dak Prescott, getting stumped in the parking lot of a Waka Flocka concert down on spring break. I don't know if you saw it, but it was a guy that was up for the Heisman Trophy. It was a story that really kind of either fizzled real quick and people just forgot about it. But let's show you this video. Dak Prescott down in Panama City, Florida. After a concert, him and a couple of his teammates got jumped, and
Oh, shit.
that is Dak right there. Big Kenny, I'm going to bring Big Kenny on to get a little commentary. Let's play it again. We apologize for the words, but, you know, if you turn on the soap opera today at 12:30, Erica Kane will be calling somebody, a B. So, we're right there, but that is Mr. Dak Prescott right there on the ground, and it almost looks surreal, doesn't it? Because you don't really think a Heisman Trophy candidate. It looked like he's getting sacked. One more time. Let's make sure y'all get a good view. If you're not looking on the Sports Joc page, let me tell you what's going on. Some guys in a parking lot just come out of nowhere. I don't know where's Dak's friends. They putting them Air Force Ones on him. He keeps stumbling, and if you can dig up the after picture of him, they have some pictures where you can actually see him bleeding in his forehead and things like that. It was just a story that I wanted to start with because it was the first story of the week on Tuesday that I wrote down, and I was just trying to figure out. I didn't really see it on a lot of outlets, news outlets, that something like this can be happening and actually have this kind of video and not a lot of talk about it. And here's a guy who came back. Some people thought he might leave. Here's a picture of him right there. So you do see his bloody face. He's got some blood on his chest. So that was him. Because at first I'm like, nah, they got the wrong guy. But that is Dak Prescott. And right there you can see the kick to the face. I don't know where the rest of his teammates are. Because they said it was like 2 or 3 of his teammates. They were leaving the concert. Somebody got some get back. Spring break is going on in the in the month of March in different locations. But I'm going to bring my co-host on here, Big Kenny from Chi-Town's finest. Good morning to you, Big Kenny.
Good morning, Sports Joc. How are you? This is Glory be in Bigora. This is a wonderful morning today. I would like to say, oh, Donnie boy, the pipes are calling. I've had a shot of Irish whiskey and a prostitute, so I'm ready to go into my day.
Is that what goes hand in hand?
Like eggs and cheese, Sports Joc, like eggs and cheese. And I'm here ready to spread the joy of the morning. Dax scrambled, a young man, scrambled.
But Big Kenny, did you see this? Did you hear about it?
No. And
how can this go, something like this, and this was, I mean, all they talked about during the football season with this guy being up for the Heisman. And then he's in the parking lot getting some boots put to him.
And the thing that gets me is as you were talking about it, I go to pull it up, like to search it.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't even pop up
stop
like
right here.
in the search.
Now look at the gentleman over there. He's out.
Yeah, this dude is knocked out completely.
Over here by the car on the ground. The running back for Mississippi State is out. Now, I don't know if that's from intoxication or that's from
the two-piece.
The two-piece.
Right.
He is up under the tire out. Neither one of these gentlemen even have a shirt on them. I guess they left their shirt on at the hotel, but this is a disturbing picture. I mean, for something to go under and nobody really knew. Everybody I asked, they're like, what you talking about?
Well, and I'm looking on some of the reports, and there's a live feed on a site called tigerdroppings.com where people are discussing it, and it says it was like 20 dudes with dreads is what they explain. So like 20 against 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've seen Dak scramble, Dak run. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got to y'all don't have to take the whooping.
Right.
I know it's 3 of y'all and y'all supposed to be tough, but live to fight another day.
Yeah, and they said he didn't want to press charges. He did call his coach after he got up, but I just thought it was very interesting that I can throw a couple touchdowns and you show it all week. I take some boots to the face and I get no coverage at all. But we have a great show for you. Sigma, Alpha, Epsilon coming on deck. We even might let the mediocre producer chime in.
No.
With his Tea Party views, as we all know. We'll be back, 888-926-7562 with more of the Sports Joc Show right after this.
More of the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy coming up next.
Michael's Auto Spa on Roswell Road is proud sponsor of this week's Sports Joc Show.
Shout out to my man up at Michael's Car Wash. He's one of the guys that keeps my car clean on Roswell Road.
Located in the heart of Sandy Springs, Atlanta, Georgia. Offering hand wash services, tunnel wash, express detail, and custom detail. Schedule an appointment online at MIKAELSautospa.com or call 404-252-0376. Mention the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy for this week's special upgrade.
Confusion.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. We got a little battle going on today, so for you people that always critiquing our musical selection, we're doing a little Hall and Oates versus Bruno Mars. As I said, music did start before Justin Bieber. I just want y'all to know there was a lot of music out there before Bieb was even born. All the way back to just the jungle beat. Boom, 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 and then we turned into beatboxing. Yeah, I like when I go into that. I sound just like Dougie Fresh, man. I just have to get that in just to show y'all that other side.
And then we went to, oh, Donnie boy. the five. We do have St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, but I always call it my son's birthday. He was born on St. Patrick, which gives me an extra reason to get super, super drunk on St. Patrick's Day. Like, everybody's getting drunk anyway, and I'm like, hey, let's get drunk and do some drugs because, it's a birthday, too.
Green, so you can give him some green. Some money.
Thanks, Sports Joc. Things to add to the list. Drugs for son. Thanks. I had to write that down.
As we left, before we get on the Oklahoma University saga, we did find another angle of this. Dak Prescott, Heisman Trophy candidate last year, should be one of the front runners this year. Mississippi State, Dan Mullins, the head coach. Another angle, Panama City, spring break. A couple of friends of him and his couple of teammates got jumped out in the parking lot. Let's see this other angle. It was very brutal, so if you don't want to watch, Dak is being kicked around. This is right after the guys ran off. His friend is over by the silver car, laying on the ground, and I don't think he took a hit this whole football season that had him in this kind of shape. If you saw before this, you could see why he would be like that. He was getting kicked right in the head. I mean, and he's probably drunk as well. But I hope him a speedy recovery. And these are the gentlemen that posted. Slumped over some Mississippi football players. They thought it was
a joke, basically.
Okay.
Those are the laughing icons. They thought it was a joke.
Gotcha.
And I guess they
So here are the guys that probably will be getting arrested for this crime, because they're so smart that they would post after beating the guy up.
At Better Cuff Your Mane at For the Love of Money. Run it up some more. Prescott and the I can't see the full message. Cuff Your Mane and For the Love of Money, and I beat off Prescott and the running back number 15 from Mississippi State. And in the world of criminal justice, they call it self-incrimination.
What's so funny, though, is they knew the running back's number. So that means you even watched the games. Like, what is going on that you?
and this is what you took as your photo op. You know what I mean? I don't want an autograph. I don't want a picture. I don't want a jersey. I want to beat you down in the parking lot and then take credit for it on social media. So I'm sure the cops have gotten involved.
But specify which running back.
Yeah.
Number 15 that we just jumped out in the parking lot. And obviously, if he wants to press charges, there's the evidence to prove who was in this manner of display out in the parking lot, which is, like I said, the running back was over there on the ground. Dak is bleeding. And I just didn't understand how a story like this goes so far under the radar that most people by Wednesday didn't even see this. I don't know if they had taken it down or just wasn't enough. I guess if it ain't Jameis Winston, huh?
Well,
that's kind of how it is. If it ain't Jameis Winston.
What I think is interesting is we had a case right here in Atlanta in the past couple of weeks where a young lady was jumped by 3 of her quote-unquote friends. Mm-hmm. They had it on video. All of those women were arrested. They're looking at prison time. It was a big, huge story here in Atlanta. In New York, there was a video of a young lady being jumped by probably 8 or 9 other girls in a McDonald's while everybody watched. They had video. Girls are turning themselves in. They're asking for the public to help them in rounding them up and prosecuting. Mm-hmm. Dak Prescott, like you said, was one of the hugest. Mississippi State was number 1.
At one point, yes.
At one point. Mm-hmm. And we heard zero about this. There's no follow-up story. There's no – and do you think that the Mississippi State program, do you think that Dak himself or his friends, out of some sort of sense of embarrassment or we're supposed to be tougher than this, why aren't they pursuing this story?
I think, like I have said before, we have a select group of people that we report on, and they get coverage, like I said last week with Chris Johnson getting in the drive-by. Certain other names in the similar situation is a whole week of coverage. Certain players, Dak Prescott, Chris Johnson, people that I guess the media does not love to report on, they only get a little sidebar. And it seems like we do have a hierarchy in sports, and no matter what happens, and here's another case of that. Big story out of Oklahoma, Sigma Alpha Epsilon, the fraternity, racist chant on a bus. Let's just show this chant real quick. You have a we couldn't find the video. They take it down too? Oh, you don't have a unedited version. Okay, got you. Do you have a video? We can maybe just show the people. I'm quite sure anyone that's been watching any coverage of sports has seen this story. That is part of the chant right there that they had on the bus Oklahoma linebacker Eric Stryker has gone on record. A lot of players at OU went out to protest this action. Head coach Bob Stoops, he went with the players. He canceled spring practice. The fraternity has been thrown off the yard. 2 or 3 of the players have been expelled from school. Some of the players have even been held protesters in front of their yard. In Dallas, people have protested. 2 freshmen down there. It's just an interesting story. Had a couple of decommits. A couple of guys that were thinking about going to Oklahoma next year have decommitted to go to other places. Once again, racial tension in sports. I think over the last 18 months, it's never been as high in a while as it is now, from Donald Sterling running into the Atlanta Hawks, running into this situation. Let's show the clip of Oklahoma linebacker Eric Stryker. This was his reaction after he had heard the news. He has been interviewed by CNN and other outlets. There is some profanity in it. I think we have the edited version, correct? Okay, so this is linebacker Eric Stryker for the Oklahoma Sooners. That is his rant. Mediocre producer, don't get all in a tizzy over there. This is not something that we made. These are things that are out there. I mean, it's funny that we can, if we write a show, we can write all this in. But if somebody actually said in real life, we have to edit it out. I don't understand how that works. We can write in some of this stuff, but we can't show what the actual reaction was. He did go on an interview, like I said, on CNN and apologize for the language in which he used, but he did not apologize for the sentiment.
And he's a student.
He's a
student athlete.
Yes.
A student athlete. So what has happened to him?
Nothing has happened to him. I mean, what am I supposed to make you run some more for cursing? But he did express his opinion. The coaches, the AD, the basketball coach, basically all the powers that be, mainly because they work with African Americans, black men all the time. I mean, find me a football team without a colored person now, and I'll give you $1. I mean, you'd have to search. You'd have to really Google. Like, you have to be, I mean, you'd have to go to a town that doesn't have, basically, because there's some sports, there's a man of color in every sport I've ever seen.
Well, that's because Abraham Lincoln didn't have foresight to keep them where they were supposed to be. Now, see, if he had done what he's supposed to do, all that athletic ability would be productivity in the fields. White power.
Now, this has spilled over to other chapters of this fraternity. A lot of other ones have been under scrutiny as well. I know out in the University of Washington, the one at Tulsa, trying to make sure that things in their house are clean. Before the show, I heard you gentlemen discussing that this is one of the few, that old American fraternity that still has some of their roots. Roots, y'all like that? Y'all like that?
Kunta.
My name is
Kunta
Toby.
Kinte. Say your name.
Toby.
Say your name.
Toby McLean.
Ah, that's a good darky.
But we're going to go to break. As you know, on our show, the funny man Vic Kenny is part of a frat, so we can get some insight about fraternities and how that goes down, the relationship they have with the college. Are they just a separate unit altogether once you join a frat? That and much more. 888-926-7562. The Sports Joc, JOC.com.
Atlanta Olive Oil Company is this week's Sports Joc of the Week sponsor, located at 1133 Huff Road, Suite F, Atlanta, Georgia. Visit them this week for samples of the Sports Joc Oil of the Month, Black Walnut BV. Atlanta Olive Oil Company is more than just a place to buy gourmet-infused olive oils and balsamic vinegars. It's a unique gathering place for tastings and intimate settings. Located at 1133 Huff Road, Atlanta, Georgia, Atlanta Olive Oil Company, proud sponsor of the Sports Joc Show.
And now, back to the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. As we left you, we were talking about Sigma Alpha Epsilon, Oklahoma University, the Boz. Yeah, that's the Boz's old stomping ground. The brat has been thrown off campus, 2 freshmen kicked out. As I said, OU's football coach Bob Stoops, the AD Joe Castiglione, both went to the protest of this fraternity being thrown off. The president of the university wasted no time, basically gave them 3 days, and you got to be gone. Get your stuff, got to go. The letters have been taken down. Quick justice to this. I think this is the time that we live in. The evidence is there for us all to view. They have hired a lawyer, which is in the right, because you know, you can't just go into a situation like this and throw everybody off the campus. Some of these students might not have even been on the bus, but might be part of the frat. So it's just to make sure everybody is put in their place. As I said, a couple of recruits, Gene DeLuce out of a Texas high school, Mesquite High School, has decommitted to going to Oklahoma. Protesters protested down at Parker Rice's house. He's one of the guys you can see on the video. So this whole big story, fraternities, sororities, colleges. Big Kenny, my first question to you is, stories like this get about 10% of the coverage as a story like Adrian Peterson spanking his son, Ray Rice hitting his daughter, even Donald Sterling it was like day in and day out coverage of these. Why isn't this getting the same kind of coverage, in your opinion?
Primarily, the reason it's not getting as much coverage as a Ray Rice, Donald Sterling, Adrian Peterson is because the people involved aren't as famous as Ray Rice, Donald Sterling, or Adrian Peterson. They don't have the same kind of exposure to the media. As everybody else. They tried to add some of the elements. These kids are affluent there. You know what I mean? Because when money is involved, that makes a salacious story.
So, but isn't this even more disturbing because it is kids? In those other 3 cases that we were just discussing, those are adults. This is like on a huge college campus. I don't know how many people go to the school. I would figure at least 20,000 people are probably enrolled in OU. You would think it would have more weight. I mean, Jameis Winston's still in crab legs.
Well, see, this is what I want to say. This is what I want to say. There, maybe because of the outrage over a situation like a Jameis Winston, people said of Jameis Winston, hey, man, he's a kid being a kid. Sometimes young people make mistakes. These people are the same age, if not younger, as Jameis Winston. Sometimes people make mistakes. As a member of an illustrious fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Roof, I challenged all Greek organizations, Black Greek organizations that I know, to take a step back and take a strong look at ourselves. I think that the SAEs from Oklahoma University got caught being SAEs, doing what they do, the way they do it, when they do it. They thought they were in a private setting. They were just doing SAE stuff. After an SAE party or on their way to an SAE party, and somebody filmed them like they did a Donald Sterling, like they have other people, and they put it out there. Now, if someone was to come with a camera into one of the Q parties and listen to some of the chants we have, or watch some of the things we do at pool parties or at barbecues or at the frat house, it'd probably be as equal, if not more, outrage. So for everybody to start rallying around, kick them out of school, this is despicable, they were being kids. They were in that sort of mob mentality where if you're not participating, now you're ostracized. You know what I mean? And it just happened. And because it didn't jibe with politically correct society is why everybody's outraged.
And I was glad that you said that, because that was going to be one of my questions. If I took a film crew to any fraternity or sorority, I can leave there with some type of sentiment of sexism, racism, drugs, things like that.
I mean, and
alcoholism, you know.
And if there's none of that going on, you guys are lame, and I'm not joining this frat. I'm just saying, why would we join if there's no drugs, sex, and sexism and discrimination and all of that? That's why we get together, because we feel like we share those same thought kind of mentality, right? Now, we're those kind of guys.
Now, on most campuses, do the white fraternities and black fraternities ever unite on anything to throw some kind of fundraiser?
I think that's an excellent question. When I was at the University of Southern Mississippi, we used to have what we call the Greek Games, where a white fraternity or sorority was paired. A white sorority was paired with a black fraternity,
which is dangerous,
right? And a white fraternity. And a white fraternity was paired with a black sorority.
Now that is a lot of hate.
And we would have basically like an Olympic style thing where we all competed together. We'd have a thing called Song Fest, where all of the fraternities and sororities get together and put on a Christmas concert where they would, each group would get up and sing songs. The Sigma Alpha Epsilons at University of Southern Mississippi was some of the coolest white people I knew, and we hung out at the house with them. They would come hang out with us. It was a hey, just we're students thing. Now, when they were inside of their homes, they probably said stuff that they wouldn't say in front of us. But when we were at our frat house, we would say stuff we wouldn't say in front of them either.
And I asked you that because earlier before we went on, I said, if you think about it, I couldn't think of one movie to where they ever portrayed the white fraternity and the black fraternity uniting on anything. They show a certain, anytime an issue came up in a movie, that one of them is on this side of the road, they've never met.
Right.
It's already just a mutual hate for each other. And that's where the question came, because in my time at Auburn, I can't ever remember going to a Kappa party and seeing Sigma. I can't even remember going to a Kappa party and seeing anything but Kappas.
Well,
so I was wondering, does there any time where, because it seems like fraternities and sororities still have this kind of wedge to be separate. Not just by color, but gender as well.
That was never my experience. Like I said, at Southern Miss, if the Qs were throwing a party, everybody came. If the Kappas were throwing, we were going, number one, to support. We'll give you our $5 at the door, and then we're going to wreck your party super, super hard, and we're going to make a Kappa party a Q party. But either way it goes, everybody comes because we felt that was a show of support for our people. Not we are first African-American students here to get an education. We are secondly members of our prospective organizations. But as a community, we need to support each other in our different efforts. So we would show up and we would hang out. Now, I don't know how it's at Southern Miss, it's still the same. All of the Greeks hang out together. They got a wonderful relationship. And I think sometimes people portray it in that we don't come together because it makes for better storytelling.
Now, one of my good friends, my best friends out of Fort Lauderdale, James Bostic, happy birthday to you, JB. He just texted me, Big Kenny. And I usually don't even call the person name out, but in this case, he was there with me and is refreshing my mind. In 1992, he says Auburn had the same issue with the Sigmas on their campus. The frat had little black kids on floats. They had painted up some kid. I can't think that. I can't.
Like jockeys, the little lawn jockeys?
I guess we were on boats coming over to America, and they got found out. But Thank you there for that tidbit. You know your boys, my memory is gone, man. I'm up for a CTE test later in the year. I'm gonna forget all y'all. Get all y'all. But I won't forget your debt.
I was about to say, before you start forgetting, let me get the black card. You know what I mean?
But in this case, the one thing because I don't know a lot about either, my couple little moments with any kind of fraternity world, being an athlete was very small.
Well,
and we had very few guys that were on the football team that would go. Maybe in my whole time, maybe 3 guys became frat members. I'm quite sure now more and more guys do it because there's less, paddling.
Yeah, it's easier. But see, this is the thing. I think a lot of people are trying to make this some sort of fraternity issue when this is just basically an organizational, societal issue. San Francisco 49ers fans beat up Oakland Raiders fans. You know what I mean? Dodgers fans jump on Giants fans. Philadelphia Eagles fans throw eggs at the buses of opposing teams. When you're on a team, and we'll call it that, you do what the team is doing. And sometimes it don't match with what you think society should look like. But that happens all the time. Do you think that the people who are outside of the stadium in New York when Pittsburgh comes rolling in are being nice? You know what I'm saying? You guys are some great players. That's not what they're saying. They're not screaming stuff like that from the bleachers. Hey, your mother's a wonderful cook. No, that doesn't ever come out of their mouths. And that's because they're supporting their team. And that's what we do in the heat of the moment.
It would be interesting to find out if this song that they were chanting was something new or something old. Is this a classic of the fraternity? It sounded like something that has always been.
That's part of being in a fraternity.
You do have to learn the fraternity song
and customs and traditions. We're discouraged from adding stuff because that's not what you were taught.
Exactly.
We were founded in 1911, and that's got to be the same way as it was then, now, or else it's a different organization. You know what I mean?
We'll be back with more of the Sports Joc Show right after this. Oh, here she comes. Watch out, girl, into you are. Oh, here she comes. She's a man eater. Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. Hall & Oates versus Bruno Mars. You be the judge. Yeah, some of the classics right there. It's okay to go in the back sometime and get that old album out right there. I'm quite sure we've heard it sampled about 1 million times. That's why Blurred Lines is paying up. What are they paying? Like $3 million they got to give the gay family, something like that. $7 million?
Got to give Marvin Gaye's family, not like a, hey, we family, like that. You know, he said got to get a gay family, like a bunch of people sitting around like, we finna get this money. No, it was Marvin Gaye's family.
Marvin Gaye's family.
Speaking of that, I think it's really dubious.
What's Nona Gay doing lately?
Singing.
She sings now too?
Yeah. I didn't know she was related to Marvin Gaye. I thought she was a totally different
No,
Gaye.
That's his daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. I think it's interesting though that there's a song that they went back and forth about, does this sound like Marvin Gaye's song? And maybe we can find it. There's a song that Robin Thicke did on this past album with Blurred Lines called $1 Million Baby, featuring a vocalist named Jasmine Sullivan, and it's Trouble Man. It's, I come apart. It's that from if and I know
later in the show. Let's play the Blurred Line.
And I'm like, why are you worrying about Blurred Lines? This is obvious thievery right here.
We'll play Blurred Lines when we get to the entertainment versus the song they're saying that was Marvin Gaye's song as well, and see if we can find the similarities in it. How about that? But as you know, this week is NCAA, the tournament, hot and heavy. The brackets are out today. Fill them in, get in the office pool, win you some money. Yes, I am promoting gambling. Y'all do it anyway. How do you think the lottery keeps getting up to $500 million? Somebody's buying a ticket. And I'm hoping to win and cash out. I'm going to give all y'all $5 too. Oh, yeah. See that? I'm a giving guy. $5 go to everybody. Look at that's all. Oh, man. But this weekend gave us great images. Dick Vitale at the Kentucky game. You can tell Ashley Judd was definitely excited about her Kentucky Wildcats, giving him a big smooch. It's good to be famous sometimes, Big Kenny.
Yeah,
get little things that us regular men just can't get. I'm
actually famous too, so I get a lot. Actually,
I saw one where she gave him one frontal kiss, though. Yeah, I saw that one. See if you dig that one.
And look at Dickie V's face, baby. It's gonna be a dapper dandy.
Dick Vitale, Ashley Judd, as you know, is a big Kentucky fan. She goes to a lot of the games, and you can always tell a good fan because they don't need that. They don't need a suite. They don't need 2 security guards. Look, respect me. I came here to watch my team play, and that's it. I didn't come here to sign no autographs and all that kind of stuff.
We all here for the same reason.
We came here for the same reason. I just came to cheer for my team. Right there, Big Kenny. Get him a
slip of the tongue, Dickie V.
I see you, Dickie V.
Look at the dude in the background hating like, hell no. She kissing him in the mouth, man.
He don't need no daily Cialis for that right there. I see you, Dickie V.
Yeah, he feeling it too.
So that is one of the images. On a sad note image, Georgia State's coach Ron Hunter tore his Achilles celebrating. Georgia State beat Georgia Southern. Yes, I said it. This is not a repeat of last week's show. They played in the Sun Belt Championship. That was the 3rd time they've played this year. The last 2 times Georgia State prevailed. This time after his son RJ, who was the player of the year in the Sun Belt as a junior, has a promising career. He can shoot the ball, I keep trying to tell you. Not necessarily a top round, but definitely will get a shot to show his shot in the league. But his dad running on the court, which even when I was at the Georgia State-Georgia Southern game, I thought that Coach Hunter could lose about 20 pounds. I had a little pooch in the front. Let's see him hurt himself running onto the court.
Here's Ferguson.
I can't talk about the coach. Yeah, I can talk about him. I'll give him a pair of shoes to get to them African kids. He'll be okay. He's up in the left corner. He's hugging his son. And then he falls to the ground. Let's see if we can see him. He ended up on crutches.
Hunter, the head coach.
There's Coach Hunter right there. Did a great job with his team. He's a good man. He has a shoe thing that he does where he collects shoes and send them to underprivileged kids in other countries. They had to lower the basket so he could cut the last do we have a picture of them lowering the basket so he could cut the nets down? No, they had to lower, they can lower the basket so he didn't have to climb the ladder to cut the nets. But big, Georgia State making the NCAA tournament. One of the 64 teams. We'll start this Thursday. He said the pain was at a 17, but he was so high on them pills they gave him that right now he didn't feel anything. I think also I was reading in the report that he has torn his Achilles before. So,
bruh, how the hell you tear your Achilles celebrating? I mean, you ain't hitting the hole. Right. You ain't trying to keep somebody off your quarterback. You're not coming down from a monster dunk. You're just hugging a guy.
Hugging your son.
You're hugging your son and tear your Achilles. Stop, coach. Hit the physical conditioning room. That's what you need to do.
Run some Hawks with the team after practice.
There you go. Hit the bleachers and get yourself in some physical condition. I really think that it's, and I say this with some bit of reservation because you don't know everybody's story. But I think sometimes that it's insulting when super overweight people are coaching athletes. you're telling me to be fit and you're telling me to be fast and strong, and you sitting there with a foot long and a 2-liter breathing hard like you need to run faster. No, bruh. I mean, everybody, if we athletic, then let's all be athletic.
You would think he would set the precedent.
At least.
Right. It's like a skinny shelf. You just don't believe it.
You just don't believe
Yeah,
it. This food can't be that good. You know what I mean? If I'm trying to keep you, if I'm trying to tell you about smart life choices, then I need to be making smart life choices too. And that's just
your trainer can't be Chris Farley.
It's not gonna work.
He can't be Chris Farley.
It's not gonna work.
It don't work.
There's this show.
How can I trust that these 20 push-ups will ever get me tight?
There's this show called Dance Moms, and they have this lady named Abby who
Dance Moms?
Yeah, and this lady
got moms on the show dancing?
Well, no, these moms are like stage helicopter moms who bring their girls to this ballet studio.
Okay.
And Abby talks to them and berates them, and you need to get it together or you're not going to be here. This is the and she really ugly personality and talks to him really crazy. But she's like a 350-pound woman. And where the hell you do ballet?
She's trying to live vicariously through her daughter.
Where did you ever do ballet? And if you ever did ballet, how did you go from pirouette to this? But you're screaming at these girls. Let me see you get up on your toes, ma'am.
Well, if I called her on the show, she'll tell me some story about how her mom.
There she is.
Her mom did something, and that's why she gained weight. They'll blame her parents of why she's so big.
Right.
Yeah. Her mom cooked 3 square meals a day. Okay. That's why you gain weight, I guess. We have Jared on the phone. Are we in the football segment yet? What is
He just lonely. He miss us.
Good morning to you, Jared.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Hey, man, I know more than just football, man. Come on.
I saw that Christian Ponder signed with your Raiders. Is that what you want to talk about? No?
No.
You ever notice how during the off season from football he sounds happy all the time?
Yeah, it does sound
but
jubilant.
when he calls in on Mondays after the Raiders game, it's all like, "Good morning, Jared." Hey, just still on suicide watch, guys.
His college must have made the tournament. Who are you cheering for in the tourney, Jared?
No, my college. I'm a Howard grad. I was gonna talk about the fraternity stuff, but we can skip that. But I'm a Carolina fan.
Are you in
I used to live.
Are you a fraternity? In a fraternity?
No. I don't like fraternities at all.
Okay.
Well, one of those.
One of those. You had a comment.
Be your own man, man. Be your own man. Come on.
Yeah,
anyway, I said we weren't going to talk about that. But let's talk about the bracketology, man. Who you got your Final Four?
No.
Don't skirt around.
Last time
you just can't get on and insult me and the fraternities. Act like we gonna skip past that.
This is the Sports Joc show with Wayne Gandy. I'm the only one to get to skip subjects. I'm sorry. What was your comment on the OU? I want your opinion.
Oh, I mean, like Kenny said. Well, like Kenny said, I think fraternities. There's a lot of history involved and tradition. So that's not a new song. Racism is taught. So that's like a song going back to probably whatever their fraternity was founded.
Right.
So. Because I know Kenny, I have a couple of friends at Omegas, and there's songs that go back to their founder. So that's nothing. That's something.
Swing low, sweet chariot.
No, in Omega is swing wood.
There's probably one of those campuses, one of those fraternities on every college campus in this country, and they don't want a broad blanket to be thrown over all of them. So that's why it's not being covered because they know it's one of their traditions probably.
Right, and that's probably why, as long as it's not out, they just ride with it.
Exactly.
I heard that. So you say you're a UNC fan, real quick?
Yeah, Carolina Tar Heels.
Yeah, they love to ride the winners. Don't do him and Twitter.
Yeah, I was about to say, him and the bad producers just grinning now.
Derek, we got to go to break, man.
I used to live down there. I used to live in Chapel at Raleigh.
Oh, okay. That's where you started robbing people at down there before you moved to New York. We'll be back more of the Sports Joc show right after this. Thank you for calling, Jared. Welcome back to the Sports Joc show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. We will be coming to you all night long. It's just you and me, rocking to the morning light. Are you ready for this euphoric ride? Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy. For you kids that don't remember the midnight hour, you missed a part of life. Just like when the television used to go off and they show the American flag. It's a reason why they called it Good Morning America. Some of y'all will never really understand. It was Good Morning. The TV was just coming back on. Good Morning America. But we are here. We are hour into our show. Thank you, Jared, for calling in. Go Raiders. Everybody is 0-0 right now, so it's good spirits all around. Speaking of the American flag, you people out there at the University of Cal that decided you wanted to remove the American flag because America used to be imperialistic, whatever, move. I'm so tired of you people in this flag and all. Move it up other countries then. Since you got it so bad over here, move. I mean, America's so bad, move. Why is it, that's our flag. That's what represents our country. Move if you don't like America. We're only 300, 400 years old. I mean, give us a break. I mean, we're trying to grow to all the things that you want, but move. Go to Russia, where you can be arrested for driving gay. Go to somewhere in the Middle East where you can get arrested for driving as a woman. Move then. I mean, come on, man. No, we do not have it all right. It's like all you see is the things that are wrong about the country. There are a couple of things that are okay about the USA. It's a couple things, but there's a couple things wrong with you too. Just like there's a couple things wrong with me. I don't know why y'all. That's all the government is made up of. Human beings. Human beings are flawed. But the thing about it, are we trying to change? Are we trying to get better? Yeah. Is it fast enough for you? Probably not. And they trying to give you legalized weed. Come on. A 6-pack and an ounce of weed? What else do you want, man? I mean. I mean, what else do you want? I mean, they trying. I mean, this wasn't even on the table 100 years ago. They trying though. Eventually, you can get a 12-pack and 2 ounces and some pork skins. I mean, it's gonna be. You're talking about some obesity. It's gonna be some real obesity going on. Right there. McDonald's going to get a lot of business in the late night. Oh, man. From how I heard, Sports Joc doesn't dive into those kind of things. But I got people around me, about 4 of them right now, who can't wait to get their legalized weed card. Faking injury right now. I got in this morning, Massengill talking about his back hurting. Yeah, you're going to need a prescription for that, huh? Master Gill, you need your prescription? Some of that Beast Mode 2.5. You say take some. But move if you got a problem with the flag. Go live somewhere else, and we'll try that and see how fast you get back over here. When running water is never going to be fixed. It ain't going to ever be. It's just you're going to have to get it from the road. My Ebola. Come on, man. Get going. And PSA. For you people that don't know Atlanta, there's a Kroger on Ponce de Leon. It's right up by Eats and kind of right past the old police station. It's a criminal grocery store. Stay away from there. It's called Murder Kroger for a reason, and if you didn't know, stay away from there. It's always had crime. It probably always will have crime. Last week, another crime. Worker is going back to his truck. Gentleman is in his truck trying to steal it. The guy that's trying to steal the truck shoots through the window, kills the man. He's a father of 4. It's just 38-year-old Joshua Ritchie, just for going to his truck. It's a lot of crime up there. So, them Wheaties are not worth it. Go somewhere where you're light, populated. Don't go up in there. People can't see you from the street. I never did like that Kroger. Tough out here, but don't go to that. Kroger needs to close that Kroger. That's what they need to do, and move somewhere safe. Too many after 2 murders in your parking lot. Shouldn't you have to be closed? I mean, they should mandate closure. I tell you, but just need to get that out there. Big Kenny, welcome back to the show. I know you love the American flag. You might hate it some days, but it's all right some days as well, correct?
I would like to say first, as far as the Murder Kroger is concerned, for those of you shopping there, the savings on your Kroger Plus card ain't worth it. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and maybe run to another store and pay the extra 7 cents. I think that the people who are always complaining about America and the American flag fail to realize that they live in a country where you can complain without penalty. Right. America's a horrible country, but I can stand up and say that. You know what I'm saying? Which makes it a pretty good country. And if you don't believe that America is beautiful, I have one word for you: boobs. We really like boobs here, and they can put them out, and so that's a great thing about America. But when you started talking about the 6-pack and the legalized ounce and all of that, all you needed was a flag waving in the background and a bed of America the Beautiful playing right under it, and I'd have voted for you. I swear to God. I don't know what you're running for, but I'm casting my vote for this dude. Let me see what his platform is. Pork sandwiches, ounce of weed, 6-pack, cha-ching, Mr. President. You know what I mean? Let's go and throw you in office, Sports Joc. I like your agenda.
It's a great platform.
Hey, man, this is a great country. And I remember in the Marines having a friend of mine from Jamaica who had joined the Marines just ranting and raving every day about you Americans and America. And I said the same thing. Well, go back home. Right. And then he gives me the reasons. Well, you have opportunity. And I said, well, respect that. You know what I mean? Whatever reason you choose to come here and live here, respect that reason and show us some love. And if you don't like it, then go make your $2 and 3 coconuts per hour. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they pay in Jamaica. I don't know. I mean, when I was down there, I took all my money in products. So
I think it's yams.
Yams, same thing. Same thing. Yams and dagger dances. You know what I mean? That's what they pay me in. Yams and dagger dance. Dagger, 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 dagger. Eat the yam. Eat the yam. Hey, I don't do that. It's the actual yam. Oh, okay, my bad. Eat it. Dagger, 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 dagger. And
Oh, man. 23 years ago, this gentleman, Christian Laettner, one of the most probably hated basketball players in college basketball history. It was like, I don't know what he had done, but actually he just won a lot, and people seem to hate Duke, and he epitomized the hate that people had for Duke. They are doing a 30 for 30 for him. I think it comes out tomorrow night. Oh, it came out last night, 30 for 30 on Christian Laettner. I haven't caught it. I did record it to watch. But Christian had these words for people.
Shit. What's up, buddy? I'm a huge fan, dude. I'm excited for the 30 for 30. You know what I'm saying? This is the one I've been excited for a lot. But I don't get the title. How can we make people love you?
I don't know if that's possible.
Well, what should they know about you to love you?
They gotta hang out with me, go fishing with me, snowboarding, basketball, something like that. And you're a good time?
Yeah. Well, honestly, how do you think Duke will do this year in the NCAA?
They're gonna do great. I think they'll make the Final Four.
Really? Hey, dude, seriously, I'm a huge fan. I wish you nothing but the best, honestly.
Now, I must say this. Christian doesn't seem like that hate that y'all have from him is disturbing his life, Big Kenny. He looks like he's having a good life, looks like a happy man. There was Danny Ferry, and then there was Christian Laettner at Duke. They won a lot of championships there, won a lot of games. Were you a hater of Christian Laettner at that time?
No, he was always the white boy who could ball. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was like, man, Christian Laettner, for a white boy, he can ball. And they always compared him like a Larry Bird, because that was the only other white boy who could ball was Larry Bird. So, no, I love Christian Laettner, man. Then he had that spunk about him where, you get in my face, I get back in your face. I ain't scared. I'm not backing down. I love this competitive spirit.
And I'm the same as you. You just had to admit the man can play basketball. He didn't make a great pro, but on the college level, for what Mike Krzyzewski and the Duke program, nobody was doing it any better than him. And he was the guy, if you needed that shot, he was going to send you home crying. He sent Kentucky home in the finals crying, even beat my running Rebels in the championship game. The man did some winning, and I don't think he ever needs to apologize for that. We'll be back. More the Sports Joc Show right after this. 888-926-7562. Welcome to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. Wendell Middlebrooks. Sad story, 36 years old, the actor best known for his Miller High Life commercials. If you don't remember, here's Wendell in the Miller High Life commercial.
Is tired of a bunch of super fly overpaid athletes getting all the sponsorships. So we're sponsoring real folks instead. D'Angelo Billy. What's happening? Miller High Life wants to be the official beer of you. Here's your contract.
Oh, that's cool.
Ricky Wilcox. Miller High Life wants to be the official beer of you and your vehicle modification skills.
3 more miles a gallon.
Thanks for living the High Life bubble. Oh,
no. For you that were not watching the commercial or not on the page, that was Wendell Middlebrooks. He was giving sponsorship to just regular people. The last guy, when he went to the door, was shaving his chest.
Listening to electro dance music.
And he realized that, no, he was not a Miller High Life type guy. And he also did that in one of the commercial spots when he went to the Giants Stadium. And he went to the tailgate, and they were grilling ostrich burgers. And he told them that was a violation. You cannot grill anything that won't smoke. But in our short time of knowing him, he has passed away at the age of 36. You might have also saw him in sitcoms like Scrubs, Park and Recreations, Cougar Town, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They say he was found at his home in San Fernando Valley last week, unconscious. I have not seen a report of any foul play or the Emmy report on what is the cause of death, but definitely in that short window doing those Miller Lite commercials. If you watch sports, at some point you saw these commercials. But Wendell D. Middlebrooks, 36 years old, has passed away, but definitely have left us with memories that we can still laugh at today. But Kenny, you had seen High Life commercials.
I admired him so much because to get one of those pitch man jobs and then to put his signature on it the way that he did. He's not the first guy to advertise for Miller High Life, but when you think of that brand, you automatically think of those commercials. And as a comedian, as an artist, you have to admire that. And then he did such a fantastic job making you laugh. Like you said, we could still laugh at that today and years after, long after he's gone.
And without doubt, he looked like he was a
beer delivery guy. Right.
I mean, whoever casted him, I mean, he fit the bill.
He was very believable.
Yeah, it wasn't no muscle bound, tight shirt, none of that kind of stuff. He looked like, first of all, I deliver, but I also take me a case home.
Every day.
Every day after work.
Every day.
And with my hamburgers from
Wherever I can get him. With my hamburger and rib sandwich. He looks like one of those guys.
But 36 years old is definitely a short amount of time to be here.
Wow.
But he is gone. As we said when the show started, the NFL, a lot of people going, not a lot of people staying with their original team. I can't go down the list of all of them. There was a couple of shockers last week. I think no bigger shocker than Jimmy Graham, the tight end for the Saints, which I know the Falcon fans now are elated that he is not in a Saints uniform. He was traded to the Seahawks. Probably, I don't know any deal that might even be as big as that. The Seahawks getting that type of player to go along with Marshawn Lynch and Russell Westbrook and that defense. One thing that they were missing was that target that Russell could grow with. Jimmy Graham is still like 27, 28, and they traded for him, big for them. Frank Gore left the 49ers going to the Colts. Darrelle Revis is back in a Jets uniform. He was also able to convince his old buddy who was there 2 years ago with him, Antonio Cromartie, to leave Arizona and come be mates again for the Jets.
He got him a nice little payday.
Yeah, he got another
sweet little payday.
It's been 2 years now. Both players are back in Jet uniforms. Do you see them picking up where they left off, or we are 2 years later in life now?
Hey, look, we gonna have to remedy Geno. It's great to have a guy to throw the ball to, but who's gonna throw the ball? You know what I mean? We gonna need somebody, either that or Geno's gonna have to pull himself up by his bootstraps and produce.
Yes,
we need to see some, not that sporadic, 1-2 touchdowns, 8 receptions in a game. We need you to be consistent.
And I think that's why they went and got Brandon Marshall. The Jets have been definitely active this year. Brandon Marshall pick up from the Bears. They traded for him, and Aaron Decker at receiver. So now you do have 2 receivers. You do have 2 corners. You're going to run out of explanations of why you are losing. Nick Farley signed a 1-year deal with the Rams. Big Ben signed a 5-year deal to stay with the Steelers. Steeler fans, I know you're happy about that. Expect Big Ben only to give you about 3 of them. Then he probably ride off into the sunset with about 3 more years. He's taken a lot of punishment. I talked about early.
I thought you were talking about 3 more games.
No.
Because Ben is, he's pieced together, bro. You know what I mean? This dude, he's got hinges on his elbows. He's got some duct tape on his thigh.
He's taking a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Got a couple of wooden pegs for toes. This dude is just, he's beat up.
Well, that's why I say he signed a 5-year deal. I would maybe say 3 of those years he can maybe suffer through, but I don't see him playing the full 5. Trent Richardson, who was the 2nd pick of the draft, 3 years ago? 4 mostly?
That's what I'm saying. It had to be maximum
to the Browns, 3. Once again, is out on the free agent market. The Colts have let him go. The Colts picked up Frank Gore. The run the ball. The Colts also traded for what's the receiver for Houston? Andre Johnson. So Andrew Luck, who's already doing a great job, now has 2 veterans, 2 hungry veterans. I think that definitely those 2 players with probably about 2 more years. We've seen how Anquan Boldin, has gone to places. Anquan Boldin has gone to places. And you can see that he's really, really trying to win a Super Bowl. He hasn't done it yet, but you can see how he's playing that way. I expect both of these players, even though they're older in years, to give that kind of effort, because with this team and that quarterback, who knows? You definitely are in line to win something big.
Where's Trent Richardson go now?
He's free. He hasn't been picked up. The Colts waived him last week.
You think a lot of his difficulty, besides sometimes that he can't hold on to the ball, is rooted in his past reputation and some of the drama that he brings to an organization?
When I watch him, Kajana Carter pops up into my mind. I know Kajana had a big injury, but I don't think his style is very effective for the pros. He doesn't have a lot of wiggle in him. Sometimes as a running back, you can play in systems where you just ran through big holes. And in the NFL, you kind of have to be able to either run through people or make people miss. He doesn't seem to have that. And we've seen Eddie Lacy, who was right there with him, go to the Packers and explode. Last year, with his contract on the line, we saw the running back for the Saints, what's his name, Ingram.
Right.
Find his career again.
Right.
It's funny how, your contract up in 4 months, right?
And make you run over somebody.
Really? It's funny how that happens.
That'll put you in beast mode. I need the football. Give me the football.
All of a sudden, you can make a full season, no injury.
Right.
And if he can come back and start doing that, because, the Saints also picked up C.J. Spiller. So now they have that 1-2 punch again. They've given away a lot. I don't know if they can ever recover for Jimmy Graham not being in that uniform. He was the guy. He's been the guy for the last 3 years. I don't know there's an offensive player that has been more effective than Jimmy Graham.
And I always wonder when the front office makes moves like that, what sort of diabolical world domination plan are they aware of that nobody knows because they're on some, let's trade Jimmy Graham. And everybody's on some, what? Why would you do that? Who's doing that? And then they're like, just stay calm. You wait, hear us out. You know what I mean? And who are they going to use to replace this man?
I haven't, unless they have something, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe because they would know the backup or they would know something that we don't know. But from what I've seen, you're talking about their best offensive weapon. I mean, he gets more credit, in my opinion, than Drew Brees.
Well,
because he made a lot of that stuff up for Brees, who really, because I'm 6'7", you can just kind of throw the ball in an area, and I'll go get it. You didn't actually throw the ball to me.
You threw it on that side
right.
of the field that I'm running to. I think that when you see a guy like Jimmy Graham go, you got to get nervous. Drew Brees, everybody's got to be sitting around like, I'm glad the deadline's over because, they cut a guy like that loose for what? To save cap space?
Probably so, because
who are they going to pay?
Drew is owed a lot of money. I don't think they have a lot of money to pay anybody.
No.
I think he's eating up a lot of the cap, and it was time to pay the piper.
No.
And somebody had to go, Jimmy Graham, in a Seahawks uniform.
I'd have probably got rid of Drew. I'm just saying, that would have been me. I'd have probably looked Drew, either take the cut in pay or go play for Cleveland.
Go play for Cleveland. Harry Douglas went to the Titans. Reggie Bush is now a 49er. DeMarco Murray, the first time in about 70 years, the guy that led the league in rushing, went to another team the next year. DeMarco Murray, now Eagle. We'll talk more NFL when we come back from break. Big Kenny, a lot of retirements. We'll talk about that. 888-926-7562.
More of the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy coming up next.
We've heard about athletes putting ice on an injury or a pro athlete taking an ice bath after a game. Cryotherapy is a new twist on cold therapy, an all-over body freeze that lasts just minutes.
Initially, you think, I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to make it.
Former Atlanta Falcon Wayne Gandy is used to taking hits.
I was offensive tackle in the NFL for 15 years. ACL tears, rotator cuffs, torn ligaments and those things. That's football in a nutshell.
Bursts of liquid nitrogen to help his aches and pains is something new.
Cryotherapy in general is exposing the body to ultra-low temperatures.
Even after the first time, the swelling in my knee went down.
For more information, visit iceboxtherapy.com or call 404-890-7066. Icebox Therapy, proud sponsors of the Sports Joc Show.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy. Somebody that has lost that loving feeling. That's a good. So how do you know I was about to do this? Chris Johnson, as I reported to you last week, was in a drive-by shooting. He was released, and the first picture he decided to take. Let's show that on the page. That is Chris Johnson on your right in the sling. This is the first picture out of jail. Not jail, the hospital. But if he keep taking these pictures, he's going to be going to jail. Big Kenny, Chris Johnson, he's in this picture with some rapper, Kenny Turner, who's in the middle that's shooting the birds. And they're warning the people that shot into their car. I heard you blanks are looking for me. We got something in common. F, and the word that y'all don't like me to use. Hashtag juice. I don't know what hashtag juice mean. Is that some kind of code too?
Maybe he's saying we got something in common, meaning that I'm looking for you too. Okay. But hashtag juice means I can send somebody to find you. You got to come find me. I can have you touched from across the world.
This picture here seems like his troops might need to do a little
rehab.
Don't look like they ready to go back in the battle.
It looks like 0-1 right now. And to me, I'm just saying, in the battle of I'm looking for you, you're looking for me, the series is now 0-1.
And I would say, if I was Chris, look, man, let's leave this alone.
I got a lot to live for.
You got a lot to live for, and
we lost one dude already.
Whoever this guy is, Kenny Turner, I don't know. Y'all know him as a rapper. Y'all music people never heard of him. So at least at the moment, he's not going anywhere with his life. And the dude over here with his hand wrapped definitely seems like he's not going anywhere with his life. Just because he's wearing a peacock shirt. Show that picture again. I don't think Big Kenny saw that. Wife beater. Hummingbird wife beater. Right there. I've never really seen that, but I guess they sell them someplace.
Yeah, I'm sure it costs like $850. Right. And that's why he bought it, because no real man would walk in and see a shirt with hummingbirds and go, that's it.
That's what's going to set it off.
They won't even be able to see me tonight at the club.
Oh, man. But just hopefully this won't escalate into anything else.
Besides murder and serious injury, like it's already turned out to be somebody's dead.
Somebody's already dead.
And this dude, two people look like they've been shot.
Yes.
So it's already, let's not let it go any further.
Marshawn Lynch out and getting in a brawl in himself. Beast Mode, who just signed a new deal to go back to the Seahawks. We have a video of him in some kind of altercation as well. From what I read, there's a fan that was kind of heckling Marshawn about the Seahawks are chicken or something like to those words.
He calling them the Seattle Sea Chicken.
Oh, is that what he called it?
Well, I don't think the taunting, from one of my sources, I don't think the taunting is what got him. One fan was taunting him. Another fan said, "Can I have an autograph?" He signed the autograph, and then that fan was like, "That's not how you spell thank you." And Marshawn was like, "I play football," and then they just start swinging on people. Well, no, it didn't happen.
Let's see the video right here real quick. That's Marshawn with the braids. Kind of hard to see. Somebody need to fire these bouncers for letting this even go down. And there's a guy in a wheelchair rolling by.
Hey man, don't mess beast mode.
That's beast mode. That's what's being said. Just a lot of a lot of woofing going on.
I would like to say this to all of you young, famous athletes and artists and rappers and comedians and actors or whoever you may be that have taken your talents and used them in a way that allows you to provide a better life for yourself and those around you. When out and somebody says something to you, look them dead in the face and say, "Trick boy, you wish you had my life," and keep it moving. Why are you even engaging with a dude that's heckling you.
Right.
You know me, sir. The only reason you screaming at me is because I'm famous. And I understand that you hate it. You sitting there and you wish you could live the life that I live. You wish you could be me. And I'm going to make it even worse
I was thinking
by walking away from you.
I was thinking a more famous slogan like, I'm rich. I thought that might
works.
come off a little.
That works.
No, don't say that.
But Chappelle's kind of got that one trademarked. You know what I'm saying? You don't really want to do somebody because he used Chappelle. But I mean, because there are some people who will try and draw you into an altercation.
Right. I just
from hating.
I like to call security. That's what I do. Who would. Security. I don't actually know these people
and not even do it in an agitated way. Just do this and point at them.
Yeah, this dude right here.
That burns them up.
This Wayne Brady shirt right here. This guy right here. He's not in my crew.
They hate that. They hate it. I love having haters. I love having haters escorted out of the club. Excuse me, sir. Could you get these dudes and the ugly girls with them and ask them to leave? They're bothering me. And now they're on some wow. I hate you more.
Last week, in a stunning retirement, our man Patrick Willis of the 49ers decided that he was going to retire. Patrick will be 30 next month. We also saw Jake Locker, the quarterback of the Titans, at the age of 26, decide that after 4 years, he doesn't want to play. 3 weeks ago, Maurice Jones-Drew decided that he was going to retire. He did not want to play anymore. We've seen a lot of athletes, when they do get cut, you see that they don't even try to get back in the league. We were talking about this, Big Kenny. I have always felt like this new age athlete, because of, first of all, the amount of money they can make in a short period. What an old schooler made in 10 years, they can make in 4. Now, they make that kind of money. 2 is it's money over legacy. It used to be, I want the respect of my peers. I want the respect of my audience. I want to be revered that I did that thing. Just as much as you might see me as I got some money, I want you to see me equally as I deserve that money. I produced that money. You saw me run those touchdowns, hit those home runs, hit that forehand. It seems that this more generation is about, no, as long as you see that I have the money, forget whether I earned it or not, I got the money. I won the lottery, and all I did was buy a $1 ticket. I didn't necessarily really have to earn the money. And my third reason probably would be coached different. We were coached different. We were coached to mean that your life will be defined more about how you play this sport than how much you gain from it. And I think when you put all those things together, now you have an athlete that easily, we've seen it. Derrick Rose was talking about it early in the year about how he's worried about being hurt for his after career. And we're talking about a man that hasn't even turned 25 yet, talking about how he doesn't want to get hurt now, that he can't run with his kids 20 years from now. More and more, I think you're going to see athletes walk away from the game early. That a 10-year career is going to be a long career now. And we've had 3 examples in the last 3 weeks of players that definitely have more in the tank. Just decide, hey, you know what? That's enough of it.
First of all, for Derrick Rose, 10, 20 years from now, your kids won't want to be around you. They grow up, they don't want to hang out with their parents. I hate to ruin that for you, Derrick. I don't know what your atmosphere was like growing up at home, but around the teenage years, they don't want to ride to school with you anymore. You're lame to them, the old dude that keeps looking over my shoulder. Right. So all of that hanging out with your kids is not going to happen. Maybe these guys are leaving the NFL because of the intrusiveness of the NFL commissioners and all of, you're dictating my lifestyle now. Mm-hmm. I can't do this. I can't do that off the field. Then when I get on the field, I can't hit you here. I can't run this way. I can't bump you this way. Look, man, you know what? Y'all can have that. I'm rich, I'm young, they've got 100,000 sports media outlets, I'll get a job to pass the time away. Because like I said, I'm rich, I don't really need the job. And I'll go and rap or do something else that everybody else is doing. Everybody now sees, I think, a sports career as seed money for something else after sports. They're rapping or acting or opening up a strip club or, you know what I mean? Whatever they aspire to do, this is how I'm going to get
almost
there.
that I'm doing this. That's why I was saying when I said coach to the point, this is going to define you. Almost as though, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this money. And then this dream I had at 14, I'm going to put that money in, and that's going to define me.
What was his name? Mr. Actor, artist, person, father, basketball dude from the Bucks. What was his name?
Oh, Larry Sanders.
Larry Sanders, right. Him, you know, I just be a person.
I'm a poet. I'm a
poet.
It makes some baskets.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all. But Patrick Willis, what a great career. Only 8 years, but definitely one of the top linebackers that ever did it in a short window of excellence. Our hats go off to you.
You think they're embarrassed about being cut?
We'll talk about that. 888-926-7562. More of the Sports Joc Show right after this.
And now, back to the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy. I'm sitting here with the funny man, Big Kenny. Mediocre producer, did you find Selfie? No? Gotcha. Why aren't you calling her from our phone, though? I didn't need to give her a heads up. It was not an interview for her. I didn't ask you. You sent her a text? Is he not listening to what I just said? I just wanted to call her. I didn't want to give her a heads up. I didn't want to give her a text. I just wanted to call her. Is that what you did earlier?
No, I tried to call her earlier, and I said, "Are you available?" She said, "I'm at the airport."
And
she's going to be on the air.
I don't think he still doesn't get that. I didn't want her to know she was going to be on the air today.
Just call her number now.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That still contains the element of surprise.
Don't worry about it. No. Sit on back down. I don't understand. Am I?
You had one job.
This is when I think y'all are punking me, and I be thinking, what didn't he get earlier when I said call Selfie? I didn't need. It wasn't on the air. I want to talk to her really. I just wanted to see what she was doing. I tell you. Big Kenny.
Are you interested in radio production? Then send a resume to the Sports Joc Show
as we went
with Wayne Gandy.
As we went to break, you were asking me, am I afraid that these athletes are retiring because they will be released? I would tell you, no, I don't think that's it so much. I think that it's easy to, as we've been pointing out, move on to the next thing. I think everybody probably 30 and under have multiple things they plan on doing.
Or they swear they can do well.
They can do well.
Because they all go, I got mad flow. And then you listen to them and it's like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch the tiger by his toe. Huh, huh, huh. And you like, bruh, that ain't flow. And he like, mad bars.
Right. And then they just say, make a hook. That's all you need, a hook and a beat.
And in his mind, he's a rapper.
He is a rapper. But I think that's more of it. I think they're trained to see themselves as multiple things at once. And they plan on the people that they idolize probably have done that. And they feel like they're going to parlay that into the same type of from rapping to Rockaware, to Rock Nation, that multiplicity of things instead of just focusing on one thing. Kind of like Ricky Williams when he was going to leave and smoke weed and then had to come back because he realized he hadn't earned enough to smoke worldwide. You can smoke, you can smoke this country, but you can't.
I just think
you can't smoke the other 6 continents.
I'm always amazed at guys that walk away from $1 million contracts to smoke weed, because you could buy a lot of weed with $1 million. I'm just saying some really good potent stuff too. Why are you giving up the check? I mean, and then after you smoke, you're gonna need Cheetos. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There are things that come along with
air
that.
freshener,
something. You know what I mean? And these dudes be like, I would just go and get high and then what? Stupid.
Yeah, that's what it is. But one interesting story Big Kenny brought to me was the exploding drag car racing.
And I'm still looking for the 2015 exploding drag car, because unlike other sports, I guess drag racing has vehicles explode all the time.
Oh, this is a common thing in drag racing.
I thought it was, the reason it made the news is because it was unique. A man traveling at 208 miles an hour, I believe, his dragster explodes and flips and he walks away unhurt. To me, that is a news story. And so I go to the search engine and put in drag racer explodes at 208 miles an hour, and I'm getting stories from as far back as 2008 about drag cars that are exploding and guys walking away, and there's hundreds of videos, and I'm like, wow, this happens all the time with these people. So I'm going to continue to search for it.
I guess if you're sitting on a car and revving it up and then deciding to let it go at 250, because the race is how long? What are they going, like a quarter mile or something? Right. And they do it in like, they riding real fast, jet speed.
And then they're using jet fuel too. So,
what it is?
So that may have a little cause for explosion. You know what I mean?
We also have a cycling accident. Usually one cyclist fall and everybody else fall with them. I think that's what's in this video, correct? Let's see it real quick.
It's actually caused by a spectator.
Caused by a spectator, which is always the best. Let's see. If you're not watching on the Sports Joc page, it's 5 cyclists coming into the finish line. And it looks like a fan grabs the one rider by the arm right there. Wow. My sabotage. Man, first Lance Armstrong and what was the girl that got beat on the ice skates? Tanya Harding, and now this. No, Nancy Carrington, the one that got beat up, right? Kerrigan. It's funny how Ray knows that, but he can't find some other stuff I ask him. Come on out of the closet, Ray. Got a lot of information about ice skating. I mean, but that is funny that a spectator. We've seen people try to grab the baseball, and I know last night I was watching LeBron play the Magic down in Orlando, and as he tried to, he had stolen the ball. The ball was about to go out of bounds. Big Kenny, he tried to throw it back in. The fan grabbed the ball. He had to complain. The ref did give Cleveland the ball. And also, we had the cycling, we had the rugby player, which I've never seen a rugby match. They don't show that here in America. There's some good stuff. You say, yeah? I mean, I guess what we used to do as kids was rugby. Yeah, we used to call it pick 'em up, bust 'em. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you play it with anything, a can, a sock. You didn't need a ball. Nobody had a ball.
That's a game that poor kids play to get aggression out. You know what I mean? Just so we can deal with the fact that we can't go to football camp. We gonna use this shoe, and anybody that touched the shoe, everybody rush them and hopefully break something on them and bruise them, and then somebody else grab the shoe.
Sports for the ages. Yeah, let's see this rugby match. I haven't really seen rugby. I have no clue what the rules are.
This is Hugh Davis.
Kind of just tossed the ball back. What's that, Usain Bolt? Looks like Bo Jackson going down the sideline.
Wow, what a start for Oakham.
And this is why racism exists. Right here, you got this black rugby player outrunning all the other Irishmen.
He is going to use him, and he's away is the big lad. So Reece Johnson-Fisher, try again.
Man, looking like Lauren Williams. Y'all don't get Lauren Williams out of that right there?
Bolton Smith again.
There's numbers here.
He's going for his third touchdown if you're not looking at the page. Oh, beast mode 3.9 right there, Big Kenny. Let's go get some more of that. Let's get a little more of that run over. That impressive. Get yourself some. Looking like Dak Prescott. Rugby. Oh, he got another touchdown. Okay. What's his name? Usain Carl Lewis.
He's going up the wing. Flying. Absolutely flying. One man to beat. He's still going. He's still going strong.
Now, this happened to the University of Alabama in the early 70s. California team, I want to say it was USC, came over to Bryant-Denny Stadium. And at that time, Alabama had no black players on their team. USC, which, California's always kind of been integrated, had three black running backs that might still be running up and down that field. Right. They were running like Forrest Gump. Right. And the story goes that one of the alumni reached over to the AD and said, "Hey,
you got to get you some of them.
We got to get some of them.
We got to go. We got to shop around for a couple of those ourselves."
And if you turn on an Alabama game now, you will notice
he listened
that his whole shopping list exists.
Add to cart. Click
of them.
Black guy that with strong thighs. Now, add to cart.
We kind of added some stuff, but that is a true
story. That's a true story.
And even to the point that I was watching one of those 30 for 30s, and they said that the head coach at that time, Bear Bryant, he always wanted to integrate.
Right.
He always felt like Alabama was getting behind not having black players. And he was loving that those black running backs were running up and down the field because he knew winning is the most important thing to Alabama. By hook or crook, whether they and he knew that from that day on, because he had already had a couple. Because I played with the Steelers, with the first black guy to ever play at Alabama that actually got in the game. John Mitchell, he's the defensive line coach for the Steelers, and we used to always talk about that. But they had players on their JV.
Right.
He was one of them, and after that year, they put him up on varsity. But that's what that video looked like.
Yeah, and I played rugby at Southern Miss with and we were Deep South Conference champions. That dude is what they call the wingman. Okay. And when they have that big circle in everybody's huddle, that's called a scrum. That's sort of like the line of scrimmage.
So what are y'all doing in that scrum? Just pushing each other?
Well, they roll the ball in, and you have to get the ball with your feet to your side. And once you get it, now you can take possession of the ball and you kick it out to the wingman and he runs. Usually they're not that fast and they get tackled, but you can, keep lateraling it off.
Right.
This dude, there was no need for him to give the ball up. And then you think he's just fast and he runs somebody over.
Right.
And now another coach is like, we got to get us some of them.
Rugby, the English version of football, I guess.
A brutal sport, very brutal sport. Lots of cauliflower ear, lots of dislocated joints.
We'll be back with more of the Sports Joc Show right after this.
You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. It's a bitch, girl, but it's gone too far, 'cause it don't matter anyway. Say money won't get you too far,
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. House Bill number 3. The Todd Gurley bill passed the House last week here in the state of Georgia. You might want to check your state out. You might be up next. Passed 145 to 27 and now goes to the Senate to be passed. As you know, Todd Gurley, the running back for Georgia, who sat out 4 games last year for taking money for autograph signings, they have passed House Bill 3. 3 was Gurley's number at Georgia. He is up for the NFL draft. but it will hold stiffer penalties for anyone entering into a deal with a student athlete that could endanger the athlete's eligibility. Don't just think it's going to, if it passes here, trust me, it's going to migrate over to the next state, in the next state. But they are now going to try to, and it passed the House, 145 to 27, now here at the Senate, and they will vote this week. So House Bill 3, a.k.a. Todd Gurley bill, stiffer penalties for those people that are trying to lead these student athletes into contracts or doing something that endanger the athlete's eligibility. We will report on this as if it passes or not. I always felt like these people, there should be some penalty, just like the player is paying. So I'm not excusing the player in his action. But I am saying that the guy that turned Todd Gurley is the one who had benefited from Todd Gurley. So if the ship gonna sink and you're gonna rat, it should be some penalties that you brought me into this. And now maybe that I don't want to do it anymore, or I do it for somebody else. Now you want to go tell on me and throw my career out of whack. Spring football for most colleges is going on now. I know down in Auburn, A-Day game will be April the 18th. Usain Bolt will run the 200 meters over in Switzerland, July the 9th. I'm just giving you some quick notes. People out in Utah, they will be bringing back the firing squad. They say if they run out of the mix that puts you to sleep and kills you, they'll just shoot you. It's cheaper and it's more effective. A little more pain, a little more drama, but it's cheap and more effective. They haven't done it since 2010, but they are trying to pass legislation to bring that old West feeling back to the state of Utah. But it will be a firing squad. I think they do that so you don't know where the bullet's coming from. It used to be like 3 or 4 people, and only one of them really have a bullet. And they will be trained like sniper-type people, so it'll be one bullet probably to the head. None of y'all are looking. Oh, to the heart. Okay. Well, I guess, yeah, because they won't be able to cover it up for the funeral. They shoot you in the head, it might be too big of a hole. But if they run out of the drug, the execution drug, because, you know, they're having a lot of problems like that. Even here in Georgia, the lady that's supposed to be executed, her lawyer is filing that her hanging in the balance is unconstitutional because they don't know when, you know, she was supposed to die like 2 weeks ago, and now she doesn't know when the day is coming. And he wants her not to be executed now because, forget her, kill her too. It's so funny how we don't remember 20 years ago when she was doing the killing. So she was killed 20 years. Whoever she killed didn't get that kind of, you don't get to be off because we can't figure out how to find some more drug. Come on, man. Get us some of that Heath Ledger. What was Heath Ledger taking that day? It's too soon for the Heath Ledger. It's too soon for whatever Heath Ledger was taking. Well, I don't understand. Y'all, I'm just saying. Heath Ledger was, I love Heath Ledger. The Batman, the Joker was a great movie. And if you live here in Atlanta, please do not donate to the G650 fund, Querfo Dollar, trying to raise money for him a new plane so he can see the world with his 14, 15 closest friends. No. You don't need a $65 million plane. No. There's a lot of planes in between 1 million and 65 million. I mean, you're almost in a lunar craft. I mean, if 65 million, you can get a lot of planes in between that. I don't understand 65 million. He needs 200,000 people to donate $300 a piece. That is his goal. Massengill said he's not down with that. He's not down with that. Neither am I. But let me bring my co-host back onto the show, the funny man himself, Big Kenny. As I told you, Selfie is out. She's getting ready for her St. Patty's Day selfies.
I appreciate you bringing me back, Sports Joc, on this glorious morning. Amen. I would like to speak on the pastor's jet. Everybody says that this is wrong, but you have not because you ask not. Amen. 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 You have not because you ask not. The Bible tells us that the Lord wants us to be prosperous. Amen. So look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, prosper.
Prosper.
Amen. Now watch this. There are people in the far stretches of the world who need Jesus, and they don't have a TV. So you may have to fly to these people.
Well, how are you going to get to people that don't have TVs?
You fly to them on your private jet. Now, Sports Joc, with $65 million, sure, we could provide cable and television for the entire island and still have $35 billion left over, but that is not how God works. He has put it on our hearts that 200,000 of us should part with our hard-earned $300.
So you can fly with your 14 closest friends.
Because Jesus did not walk alone.
But he did walk.
He had disciples. But Jesus walked because he knew the private jet miracle. They wasn't ready for that. They were still trying to wrap their minds around the walking on water and water into wine and the fishes and the loaves. He knowed the G6 would have just blowed their mind.
If he had started flying, they would have lost.
The man walked on water and they nailed some spikes through his hands. He'd have flew and they'd have destroyed the entire country. The Lord works in mysterious ways. Amen, amen, and amen. Thank you.
Something tells me, Reverend Kenny, you won't be sending your $300 donation.
No, the Bible says don't be a fool as well. It says,
a fool in his
be
money.
ye not a fool, homeboy. And that's in the book of G's. Book of G's.
A fool and his money will soon
be parted. And if you donate, then they are talking about you. Amen.
Amen. Suge Knight. Marion Suge Knight, a fool and his money. Was in court. We do have the video of him running over the people. Can we show that video?
I'm not laughing at him running over people.
And Suge Knight, so you know, as I always make sure y'all understand, played football for the University of Las Vegas. Even played 1 year in NFL. For all you people like, why would Suge Knight be on your show? Because he's a crazy character. I mean, what's a show without some Suge Knight report? He's in his red truck. Let's show the video of Suge Knight running over the people. And then claim he got glaucoma. That is Suge right there in the truck. He pulls up to the movie set. They're shooting a movie of NWA, Straight Outta Compton or something like that. A gentleman walks up to Suge's truck. You can barely see him out of the corner. Another guy walks up. In a second, you will see the truck pull back real fast. They're probably arguing up there. Suge pulls the truck, knocks one guy down on the ground, hits the gas, and the other gentleman, boom, he hits with the truck. He kills that gentleman that you can no longer see. So he left the one gentleman that you do see. Look how calmly this dude walking up.
Everybody's moving really kind of calm. Look, man, pick something up.
The gentleman
looks to be a gun, and he tucks it in his waist.
That gentleman right there on the ground did live, from what I read, right?
And for the people
died.
Right, for the people that don't know, the guy that they pointed to with the arrow that says Bone. Bone is a notorious LA Blood, and he's been in movies like Training Day. He's been in movies like End of Watch. Mm-hmm. They have him whenever they do gang type movies. They sign him on as a consultant. So he's very well attached to Hollywood and the movie making process for that genre of movies. So he's been out there for a while, almost as well known as Suge.
The story goes is that the producer, Dr. Dre, had asked Suge not to come on set. Why Suge was in this, he is in that truck. That's who they were talking to. He was in court last week. He has asked for another lawyer, and he is claiming that he's legally blind in one eye.
I can't see.
And you with the Bob Whitfield.
P.O.P. hold it down. Mama, I love you.
Big Kenny, do you see a defense in here that Suge is going to get away?
Hey man, if you're blind in one eye, how you drive to the scene of the crime? I mean, how did you managed all of that? You didn't hit nobody, but now all of a sudden I can't see. Wow,
all that LA traffic you missed.
You didn't hit none of them.
But Suge Knight, I'm quite sure this is on his third strike. So if convicted, he probably won't ever see the light of day again.
I'm blind.
It's very interesting.
I'm a lady, ma'am.
We'll be back. More of the Sports Joc Show right after this.
P.O.P. hold it down.
Swimming in your world, something spiritual.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. Before we go any further into the show, birthdays of last week real quickly. My boy James Bostic, as I said, 43 years old. Chuck Norris, 75. Robin Thicke, 38. Blurred Lines. Carrie Underwood, 32. Kwame Brown. Y'all forget about Kwame Brown, huh? The first pick of Michael Jordan. No, y'all didn't like that pick then. 33 years old. Timberland, 43. Sharon Stone, 57. Flavor Flav, 55. Our man Blake Griffith, who made a comeback last night, 26 years old. Great to see you back, Blake. Staph infection in that elbow. I was hearing that couldn't even work out for 4 weeks. No kind of anything. Had to just sit and let the staph infection go away. Will I Am, 40. Andrew Young, 83. Joel Embiid, 21. Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Steelers, 43. Jabari Parker, 20. Mitt Romney. We have a Mitt Romney fan in the house. 68 years old, Terrence Howard. We're going to talk about Terrence Howard in a second. 46. Benji and Joel Madden, 36. Paul Wall, 34. Dan Ugler, 35. Greg Olson, tight end for the Panthers, 30. Our man, the Unibrow, the Big 22. Like Unibrow being around 22 years. He's only 22 years old. Anthony Davis. Tim Hardaway Jr., 23. Eric Decker, 28. Brent Michaels, 52. Young Buck, 34. Quincy Jones, 82. Tristan Thompson, 24. Darryl Strawberry, 53. Common, 43. And Steph Finn Curry, 27 years old. Those were the birthdays for last week. Only other note about entertainment is Angie Stone slapping her daughter, knocked out her teeth. Got a picture of that Angie and her mug shot right there. I didn't know you could wear a wig to a mug shot. Did I say that? I'm sorry. I didn't know. That's her daughter's tooth right there. Diamond Stone. Angie was released on $10,000 bail. Her daughter is 30. That's the problem right there, Angie. 30-year-old girl living in your house. That's the issue. I tell you, but Angie, who's 53 years old, hit her with a lamp or something, the base of a lamp. The daughter was saying, get out her room or something like that. She didn't want to clean up the room. And Angie, see? Adrian Peterson ain't the only one. Y'all like to make Adrian Peterson like he the only man to ever hit his child, man. This goes on. This day to day. Day to day, man. I guess she's going to have to pay for some braces now. Do you pay for your daughter or you just kick her on out? Do you fix her teeth? Do you feel the guilt to fix her teeth? No? Get her some veneers so that she'll forgive you? No, she won't ever. But that is our movies, birthdays, and entertainment for last week. In the NBA, Amon Shepard, Terrence Howard, and Empire. I watched the first episode of Empire, haven't seen it since. Too much stereotyping in there. But from what I hear, people say it's a good show. Terrence Howard, who says that the show should allow them to say the N-word. It should not have to. He wants to make it more realistic. And he feels that if they're able to say the N-word on the show, it will make it more authentic. I don't know how that goes on network TV. I mean, Big Kenny, hold on now. If we're going to be able to do it on, then we shouldn't even be mad at Sigma. If we're going to just start putting it on Fox TV, right? Who is we? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you there, sir. Y'all got Big Kenny mic on? I can't hear him over there.
We're not at the top of the hour.
Yeah, I introduced him.
All right.
Oh, okay.
You had one damn job. You see what I'm saying? You had one job. It's always the white man bringing us down. But it's okay because he blind in one eye and he couldn't see the buttons and the clock, and so he ran over us and killed us.
Well, first of all, let's show what Terrence Howard. Well, let's show in picture 6. Let me see picture 6 right there. This is Iman Shumpert, who used to play with the Knicks, now with the Cavs. That is his girlfriend. Tiana Taylor is her name. I don't know her music at all. I think I had a cabana beside her in Vegas one time. Got like a little boy body. But he sang, Shumpert, somebody asked him, did he watch Empire? And he said that he felt like one of the characters on there might have been loosely based on their relationship. Do we have the picture? Here's the picture of Big Kenny, the two people that are on the show. And I think when he said it, he wasn't necessarily, he was just being funny that him and his girlfriend look like that. I doubt that he thinks it's a rewrite of his life. He's a basketball player. This kid is a singer on the show or something. But ask Terrence Howard, and he decided to tell you this about Iman Shumpert.
Terrence, man. What's up, dude? Yo, so one thing I wanted to ask you was Iman Shumpert, you know, plays for the Knicks? You know him, right?
I'm not a fan.
Okay,
I don't watch basketball.
Oh, you don't watch basketball?
No.
All right, well, basically, man, so people were giving him crap because he basically said that 2 of the characters from Empire are based off of him, and he basically said it was taken out of context, and he apologized to the cast and to the producers. I want to say, like, do you accept his apology? I mean, formally?
I never heard anything about it, but God bless anybody.
Well, check it out.
Something on
These 2 characters from the show. So, and here is the real life basis.
These good people.
We gotta
go.
Yo, you think that that's too similar for?
That was Terrence Howard, who's a star on the show, correct?
He's the lead.
The lead star.
He's the male lead.
Him
Yeah.
and Taraji P. Henson.
First of all, when he says, I don't watch basketball, the reporter should have been like, well, we're not going to talk to you. You know what I mean? why are we even speaking to you if you don't watch basketball?
Yeah, because that might not be his sport.
Yeah.
You know, you can't, the man is being honest. Everybody don't watch basketball. Everybody, you know, I know his skin color is black, but every black man doesn't watch basketball.
Yeah. And,
some black men only watch football. Some black men only like baseball.
Yeah, and those same people worship the devil. Just saying, if you watch sport.
So you're saying the mediocre producer
is a Satanist.
Is a Satanist?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He's a Satanist through and through because he supports Romney and he doesn't watch sports. And that's I mean, you know what I'm saying? Well, look at him. Only a Satanist would dress this way.
He says support Romney and doesn't watch sports. That makes him a Satanist.
He worships the devil. He's got a pentagram tattooed to his back.
Oh, man. But I think sometimes, as we always say, the media, they love to just take snippets of things. Iman Shumpert making a joke about, because him and his girlfriend probably sit there and watch the show and made a joke. We look, hey, babe, he rocking my haircut, something like that. And then some reporter asks you, and now you've taken it to Hollywood.
Well, what I'm saying is there's a joke with, you know, I crack a little funny, and then there's going into, well, look at the similarities, and, you know, they ain't even try and change our style. You know, I don't know if he was joking, or I don't know if he made a comment that people came at him so hard about that then he had to do the, no, what I really meant was, you know what I mean? Because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
People speak out of turn, and then when they get called on it, they want to apologize. So,
well, but I think some of the people apologize also because the media takes some part, put it out there.
It's a soundbite.
And then No, I didn't say it that way.
Right.
You're just making something up. So,
right.
And we've all, people used to tell me I look like Larry Johnson.
Right.
So yeah, if you're going to give me a free table because you think I'm LJ, please. Yeah, I took my gold tooth out. Yes, I'm rocking my veneers today. I mean,
I have a cousin who lives in California, dead ringer for Todd Bridges, and he is not afraid to eat free and sign an autograph and walk out of the bar, and we be all like stumbling like, Todd, that was fantastic. And then, once we go to getting lit, people walk up and go, hey, Todd, and he don't answer. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to, Todd, they talking to you. Oh, yeah, that is me. And
yeah, I was a my college friend used to always say he was Cornelius Bennett because he looked kind of like Cornelius Bennett. And they'd be like, Biscuit. He's like, what's up, man?
Whatever
and
works.
And drinks and whatever. It was like,
whatever works.
I said, one day y'all going to be in the same place. And y'all gonna have it out. You and Biscuit.
I've been told that I look like Forrest Whitaker, and I bucked on that for years. Till one girl was like, "Oh my God, are you Forrest Whitaker? You so sexy!" And I was like, "Yes, yes, ma'am, I am Forrest Whitaker. Whatever works."
Oh man, one little quick note before we go to break. That brawl that happened between Texas Southern and Southern last week. 15 players were suspended. Texas Southern opted to just end their season. Southern did decide to try to play with 7 players suspended. So I don't know how they fared this weekend, but Texas Southern just went on and says, you know what? Hey, that's it for the year. And this team, I did see that the boys team from Texas Southern played Southern to see who won the conference title. I want to say Southern won that game. I would have to look it up during the break, but 15 players from that clip we showed last week with the young ladies fighting between Texas Southern and Southern. 15 players got suspended. Texas Southern just opted out, and they were a winning team.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they was a sorry team. They were going to go on to probably the NCAA.
And we put ladies in quotation.
Them so. 888-926-7562 right after this for more of the Sports Joc Show. Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. Man, I wish we was in the midnight hour. I could really talk that up. Hey, girl. Every time away from Black Thunder, just take a little piece of me. Come back to me, girl. Welcome back to the show. We just having a little fun.
The Midnight Hour with Black Thunder, Black Thunder, Black Thunder, Thunder.
Hall and Oates. Jadeveon Clowney last week got.
Say that 10 times fast.
Jadeveon Clowney. The first pick of the draft last year, set out most of the year injured, suffered another injury last week. He was bitten by a pit bull. One of his teammates, DJ Swearinger, is the owner of the dog. You might know DJ Swearinger for going up to the auto store and taking his truck without paying. He has since settled that case, paid the money for his different things that he was doing to his truck. His pit bull has been ordered to have house arrest for biting Jadeveon. I'm not making this stuff up, man. Y'all in these dogs. I've never heard of. Isn't that all a dog is doing anyway? House arrest? Like, really? Is it me?
Wait a minute.
Oh, is that? I thought that's what they do anyway. House arrest.
Wait a minute.
Does not a dog? Isn't that what he do 24 hours a day, basically? House arrest.
House arrest for a dog is called going home.
Right. I mean,
and he doesn't know he's being placed on house arrest. There's no punishment factor in this. How you going to correct the behavior? That's why they put dogs down when they bite people.
I thought you had to put the dog down if he bitten somebody. I didn't know house arrest was even appropriate. How about outside? That might be some punishment. Peter put Brian outside.
He did
when he bit him.
And Brian can talk.
Brian could talk.
That's what I'm saying.
He had to learn how to hunt.
He talks. He smokes. You know what I'm saying? Brian drives, and he had to go outside.
Yeah, I think you need to put him outside. Let him see how it could really be. Or how it used to be, the good old days when pit bulls had to be outside. and didn't get but one meal a day
because they had to be light for fighting
and drink faucet water.
Exactly.
Or they put the little bowl underneath the what's the thing on the top? The water comes through.
Oh, the drain.
Yes, off the
like
drain,
the gutter, the gutter drain.
And then you come down, they put the bowl. No, out the gutter. Yes, the downspout. Yeah, hits the bitch spider, went up the water spout. Now came the rain, and
he said the downspout. That's what they call it in the white neighborhood. We call it the gutter because it's connected. It's all the same thing. Massa.
DJ Swearinger says that he will keep the dog in the house for the appropriate amount of punishment.
Who decides we're going to put the dog on house arrest? Y'all actually go in the court and the judge, the case of the state of Texas versus DJ's dog. Are all the parties present? Yes, Your Honor. Yes. You'll be on house arrest. Uh-oh. I'm very, very Rory.
Oh, man. As you know, Mayweather-Pacquiao coming up in about 6 weeks in Vegas. Last year, a lot of controversy between T.I., the rapper, and Floyd Mayweather last year over T.I.'s wife. She was caught at the airport, and they asked her whether she's going to attend the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, and here was her answer.
May 2nd's the big Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
We won't be there.
We won't be there. You gonna be there?
No, we won't.
Won't be there? If you were like to put money with like a bookie, who would you put your money on?
Mayweather, I would. Definitely.
He's gonna win, but we're not gonna be there.
Mayweather's a good guy.
So May 2nd, you guys aren't going to be in Vegas, but you're going to like watch the fight on like a big screen. Go to,
Are
like,
you going to be in Vegas?
I wish they'd send me to Vegas. That'd be nice.
Is TMZ going to be in Vegas? That's all that matters.
Yes, y'all are everywhere.
He don't play no games.
Do you guys think you'll like watch it like pay-per-view or go out to like a bar and see the fight?
I'm going to be watching TMZ. That's what I'm going to be doing.
We're trying to see what y'all
We're going to be trying to see what y'all talking about doing.
That is, she says they won't be there, but she still is going to bet for Mayweather. And that's kind of how Mayweather fans look. Purple hair and all. That's what he really goes to. But that is Tiny. At least she didn't let the anger blind her for picking who she thought would be. Oh, man.
Well,
playing the classic music right there.
It's amazing how these dudes keep asking the same question over and over and over. So, are you going to the fight? Are you going to be in Vegas? No, we're not going to be there. So there's a fight. Are you guys going? No, we're not going. We're not going to see the fight. We're going to be at home. So you guys just not going to go to Vegas for the fight? Man, come on with that. And all you're trying to do is get me to say something that will turn into a great soundbite.
That is all they're after. The NBA's Jason Williams, you might remember him. Spent a little time in prison, shot the limo driver, or what did Jason Williams go to jail for?
Shot his limo driver, then tried to he shot someone else and tried to get the limo driver to take the charge.
Yeah, I knew
for
some
him.
kind of spin he had spent.
He tried to get the limo driver and jumped in the pool, removed his clothing, all that kind of stuff.
He's been out. I think he did like 18 months in prison. He says they bet in prison.
Wait, before we show this, I just want to say, I understand that there's power in money, but how powerful you think money is that we can be in the middle of me watching you shoot somebody in the chest with a shotgun, and then you turn to me and go, bruh, do me a solid. Wait, what? Hey, man, I'm just saying, I'm going to need you to go on and take this little murder charge from me. Are you serious?
Let's see what Jason said they was betting on in prison.
Dog, what's the deal, bro?
Man, how you been,
Dude, man, hurt, bro. I'm a Jersey boy.
Yeah.
So, wait, you were in the Brooklyn shirt? Are you kidding me? I can't support the team since they left us. Do you still root for the Nets even though they left Jersey?
Always root for the Nets.
You got to?
Always.
Dude, since they left
Always
New
the
Jersey,
Nets.
it's hard for me to well, since you left and since they left town, it's hard for me to root for them.
Let me tell you something.
you know, when I used to be in prison,
yeah,
you guys come on. What time you coming on? 7:05, 7:10.
Yeah.
So I used to call up somebody, hey, what time you coming on? And Harvey walks in at 7:05, and that's how we used to bet.
Get out of here.
But everybody in prison, and Harvey says he's big in prison.
Yeah.
But everybody says, whoo, he sure does have a pretty mouth.
Y'all will get it later on. The mediocre producer got it right then, and he's in shock and awe that in prison they would be talking about mouths.
Right.
But that is Jason Williams. He did 8 months in New Jersey before he did 8 months over in Rikers for that incident.
He seems pretty much in good spirits for somebody that just got out of prison.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you get out and you're rich and still, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm telling you, a few $100 million can put a bad memory behind you like nothing else can. It's like hypnosis.
Manny Pacquiao, who is in the fight game against Mayweather coming up May 2nd, his aunt says that singing is in the family. Let's see.
Do tell.
His aunt.
Miss Pacquiao, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Are you excited?
Of course I'm excited. I know my nephew gonna win this fight.
How will you celebrate when he wins? How will you?
Of course. We celebrate, of course. We will celebrate. Yeah.
Are you going to sing? Manny loves to sing. He sang Let It Go, the Frozen song. Do you ever sing with him, do karaoke and whatnot?
Let it go. Yeah.
Let it win. You know, Mayweather raps. Maybe they can do a song together after?
Hey, why not? You know, I think they're good.
Yeah.
Last question. What's the nicest gift Manny has ever got for you?
The nicest gift. Of course, the love from their hearts.
Just the love?
That's
That's the main one.
The love from their hearts.
The only country that you can give love as a gift.
A lovey good gift, and then I appreciate your interview. Now we go boom boom long time. $15. You come boom boom $15. Hey, I didn't make the rules.
Hey, you didn't make it up,
I didn't make
man.
the rules, man.
Blame it on Luke, man. Love me long time, man. Love me long time.
Get outside the U.S., guys. You know what I'm saying?
That is Manny's aunt, Lila is her name.
Did you see how they all gathered around her, though? They were into that interview. They wanted that interview.
Yes.
Here, the camera starts rolling and everybody acts like they're being bothered. Oh, they don't want to talk. But those people are like, hey, camera, let's get our 15 minutes.
Hey, they riding the fame, man. I'm Manny's aunt.
Let it go. Let it go.
Need a little Botox, though.
What color you like?
No? Y'all are not going for the Botox?
She may have Botox. She may have, but that may just be rice and clean living.
Why we can't say rice?
We can't say clean living?
Wow, man. They're so sensitive on my shit. I tell you. Serena? I'm going to talk about Serena.
Yeah.
I knew that's why I was saving it to the last. Serena's back in Indian Wells. We'll talk about her and her controversy. And we still have Robin Thicke versus our man Marvin Gaye coming up in the show. 888-926-7562. We are about to dive into the ocean in just a second. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy up in Indiana. I did read a funny article about they found a restroom in the Walmart in Muncie, Indiana. They had been running a meth lab out of the bathroom at Walmart. What?
Out of a backpack in the bathroom
out of the
backpack. At a Walmart.
Yeah, I was getting to the portable. I had to build it up first, y'all.
I'm see sorry. We stepped all on the reveal.
Yeah, you can't just say it was a backpack in the. You have to kind of gloss it up for people. You know, edit. Half of the Hollywood women without makeup. You know, you have to.
Because I was about to say, meth is the kind of thing you want to get straight to. You know what I mean? You don't want to dally none with meth. What are we doing? Let's just whip it out.
Just funny. I guess at the Walmart. I got to go by the local Walmart.
Wait,
I didn't know they was doing meth in Muncie, Indiana.
I don't understand.
Why they selling it?
No. why you would choose the Walmart bathroom. Now, I'm sure Muncie, Indiana has a gas station that probably needs a key to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could have went and sat there for a while. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could have gone to the bathroom in a Chipotle. I don't know. Just
Chipotle.
There's some, but you go to Walmart with your portable.
Racist, though.
Why? Because Mexicans are there. Mexican. I would just like to say that's not racist because Mexican people do not produce crystal methamphetamine. They just distribute it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, only white people cook crystal meth. So.
Oh man,
it's true. It's true. White people cook crystal meth. We eat barbecue. What?
Well, that is true.
Everything ain't racist.
I will go with you on the barbecue. Might get some of that today, just to be satisfy my racist part. You know,
just to keep racism alive.
USC football player. His home was being invaded. He was inside the house. He was on the 2014 Big Kenny, videotaping the two gentlemen trying to break into his home. It's just a funny video all around. The player name is Alex Holmes. He did hear the people outside because they rung the doorbell to see if he was home. He did not answer the door. Let's see the video. It started. You can see the gentleman walking up to the door. He rings trying to see if somebody's home. Once he thinks nobody's there, him and his friend decide to walk around back. Basically, right now they're canvassing the house. They don't hear anybody. They're making sure they didn't hear anybody. They walk to the back to look around as well. He's trying to get to the upstairs window. The chair doesn't get him high enough to reach it. He almost falls. Now, all this is being recorded, and Alex is in the house. They pull out some gloves.
I'm sure the police are on the way.
Because you know how you can leave fingerprints on a table, wood table.
Right.
They put on some gloves.
As opposed to the doorbell or the...
they move the plants off the table. So, because, they don't want to break the plants while I break into your house. They put on some gardening gloves. They move the table over to the window.
To the wall.
Because they're going to get in. Such dedicated criminals. He has enough height now to reach the window. He's telling them, yeah, it's open. He kneels down. I guess they're getting their second plan. He's telling him to go around to the front. I'm going to open the door. He jumps to try to go in. When he goes in, unbeknown to him, the alarm goes off.
Look at the dude doing the sign of the cross in the background.
The alarm goes off. He jumps back out of the window, and they run off. But the police were on their way. And I just thought that was very interesting.
Did you see the dude in the background do this? He did the sign of the cross like, Lord, let us have this robbery in peace. Don't let anybody go to jail while we violating this man's home, Lord.
I thought the gardening gloves was interesting. Where did you pick those up at on your way over?
Last theft. At our last theft.
He said Lowe's. Oh, man, the young generation. Come on. These kids look what? Maybe 16. I was giving them high school and already into a life of crime on tape. I haven't seen whether, I'm quite sure they pressed charges. I mean, you can see their faces clearly. And now they're probably in some kind of juvenile detention.
Something like that similar happened here in Atlanta where they started ringing the doorbell. The man didn't come to the door fast enough. They started trying to break in, and the homeowner ended up killing one of the invaders. And my wife has this thing. She has a philosophy that if I don't invite you by the house and you knock on the door, I'm not answering. And I'm totally against that because a lot of times that's the way people see if someone is there. I'm going to ring the doorbell. I'm going to knock. You don't come to the door. Now, all of a sudden, I'm kicking the door in. And the last thing I need you to do is kick the door in and my wife be there with my child. So I'm quick to get up and who is it? I mean, because this is my house.
Right.
I don't care who you are. If I didn't invite you and I don't want you there, I just say go back home or get away from my door, whatever. But I think that a lot of people who don't answer run the risk of that because that's why these people are showing up.
Gotcha. Serena Williams ended her 14-year boycott of Indian Wells tennis tournament. 2001 was the last time that she had been in this tournament. Back then, she said the crowd booed her, called her racist names, booed her because, first of all, her and her sister ended up not being able to play because Venus withdrew from the semifinal. Serena ended up in the finals. She beat Kim Clijsters, but they still booed her even in her win this weekend. I know she's moved into the fourth round of the tournament. So hopefully she can prevail and win this tournament. But it was good to see that maybe through maturity that she shows people that don't let ignorant people shorten what you want to do. I think that is, but I'm glad you did take a stand, but I'm also glad that over the years, because 14 years ago, she would have been 19.
Yeah.
So I'm quite sure at that
So
age,
she was still legal.
I'm quite sure at that age, those kind of things towards her really did affect her. Probably in those last 14 years, she's heard worse than that in a lot of other crowds. But at that age, she probably was not good at handling that kind of, especially if I'm winning.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be mad because you can't beat me.
And that was one of their like first major tournaments, I think, that they had gone to, and they really treated her bad. And that's one of the things when you're young, your capacity to deal with adversity isn't fully developed.
Correct.
So you feel a certain way and you react on it.
And that's why I always give a little leeway for high school and college kids because you are at that fragile. And that's why I always talk about it. It's good that coaches yell at you at that age because it kind of gets you into that mood that this is how the crowd is going to be. They're going to be hostile, like you said. It's not like the fans as you're driving up to the stadium. Hey, y'all play good today. That's not what they say.
Let's just have a great game.
And even if you lose your game, your fans turn on you and want to send you letters and knock your mailbox down. So you have to learn to deal with all that. Real quickly, let me show you this Krispy Kreme hot dog. This is your new. Which stadium is this? They made a Krispy Kreme. They made a Krispy Kreme bun, and then they put a hot dog and topped it with bacon. It just looks like a bathroom break, doesn't it? It just looks like a bathroom break. I know, and I eat meat, and it just looks like, you know what? Because some things you eat knowing there's going to be a bathroom thing. I know cereal. I know when you give me hot Cheetos, it's going to be a long rest of the day. So
heroin,
but no, not heroin.
Well, I'm saying I heard it make you go to the bathroom. That's what I heard.
Real quickly, we did say we would play a little bit of the Blurred Lines, Trouble Man. Here's another song that Pharrell and Robin Thicke stole that they're being sued over. Let's get a little taste of that real quick. Is that who? No,
Robin Thicke.
This is Robin Thicke's version of Trouble Man.
Well, it's $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby, excuse me. He calls it $1 Million Baby.
Right.
Okay. Now let's play Marvin Gaye. No, I said let's play Marvin Gaye's.
This is Marvin Gaye.
Oh. Oh, so he just remade it.
No, he put in different lyrics.
Oh, he said it was a whole nother song.
He said it was a whole nother song.
Ching ching. Somebody say
well, I'm saying they haven't sued over this yet, and I'm asking why not? This would have been easier to prove.
Maybe that's why they wanted to get the hard one out the way first. Shame on you, Robin Thicke. I mean, it's the exact same song. I heard that, but we are in the ocean.
The truth is,
throw your ass in the ocean. It's time to wrap things up on the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
When you hear the sounds of the ocean, it gives the Sports Joc just a minute to vent. This week, I'm not throwing nobody on. I'm adding somebody, and you know him as the King. King James, LeBron James. Come on my ship, brother. You'll always be welcome aboard. You finally took the headband off. Finally had the confidence to show that hairline, man. You know you need some love and tenderness when you finally found the confidence. It took 30 years and 2 months for you to decide to take it off. But, hey, you finally reached the age where it fits your lifestyle. 3 kids, a wife, and 30. That's a lot of people with a bad hairline. So, King James, welcome on. I should have threw Pharrell and them off for stealing Trouble Man, $1 Million Baby, whatever y'all calling it. That's a ripoff. I'm voting. Give me my gavel. Another $7 million. How about that? For the Sports Joc, Big Kenny, the 3 producers, Mitt Romney over here. Enjoy your Monday. Peace.